Hey guys, welcome to the Touchdown Table. I'm Ryan, that's Tyler, that's Jordan. So for today's video, we are going to be doing draft grades for picks 1 through 8 of our most recent draft. So we're going to get right into it. Let's get started. The first overall pick, Kyler Murray, quarterback out of Oklahoma. Tyler, what do you think?
Alright, so he should be popping up on the screen behind me at some moment just for a little visual effect.
Here, hand me that. You can talk.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's very blurry.
Yeah.
But there's Kyler Murray
Yeah.
at the back. I'm going to say Kyler Murray's an A to me. Are we doing like A minus, A plus?
Yeah, you can do minuses and plus. That's
Alright,
fine.
I'm gonna say A minus just because I did have doubts about Kyler Murray. I talked about it in the first video. That's really, really blurry. I talked about it in the first video about my doubts for Kyler Murray. And I still do have some doubts, but I've watched plenty and plenty of film on Kyler Murray because of him being the first overall pick. And now I've gotten to the point where I think he can start to be an elite quarterback in the NFL. He's going to be a great runner, in general, a great scrambler. That's a lot better, thank you. So I believe that it's worth getting rid of Rosen and getting Kyler Murray. But it was a big risk, so we'll see how it pays off. So A minus for Kyler Murray for me.
Okay, I am going to go a little bit of a different route with my grade. I was never on the Kyler Murray hype trade. I'm giving this pick a D plus. I know you might think that's a little harsh, but hear me out. Josh Rosen, okay, yes, they went 3-13. They didn't have a good year. But who did he have? The offensive line was not good. David Johnson couldn't stay healthy. Larry Fitzgerald is well past his prime. Who did he have? Josh Rosen cannot be blamed for all of this.
And the defense was not.
And the defense wasn't good. Josh Rosen was a very small part of why they went 3-13. I'd honestly say he was one of their bright spots, truthfully. Him and maybe Christian Kirk, but then he even got hurt. But really why I'm grading this so harshly is because there was just no need. Because essentially, they gave up Josh Rosen, who they traded up for. So then all those picks they gave up, the pick they used for Rosen, are essentially gone, worth nothing. And then you'll say, oh, well, Kyler Murray, he did this in college. But you know what? I don't know how well Kyler Murray's game is going to translate to the NFL. You look, yeah, he could run around a lot, but teams know that. So they're going to watch film on him. And I think teams are going to catch up to him. And just so I don't go on and on and on, I'm just going to say it in one simple sentence. Kyler Murray will not change the NFL. The NFL will change Kyler Murray. This pick was not worth what they gave up for it. Cardinals had an easy choice. Just take Nick Bosa. It's not that hard, but in my opinion, they went the wrong route.
I just want to say before Jordan makes his pick that I completely disagree with that. There was a time where I was like, Kyler Murray, he's overhyped. But after watching him, you said teams can look at film and see what he can do. If he's out of the pocket, you say just put a quarterback spy on him or something. You put a quarterback spy on him, he ends out throwing it 15 yards downfield on the run. He can do so many more things to a defense that it's incredible. And I think he's going to translate very well to the NFL because of Cliff Kingsbury, the coach in Arizona. So I think them together are going to work out very well. And the reason why they drafted Kyler Murray was because of Cliff Kingsbury. And Josh Rosen just simply wouldn't have worked out. Not to say anything bad about Josh Rosen. I think Josh Rosen will be a good quarterback as well. And we'll see if Josh Rosen plays this year in Miami, but that's a different story.
Okay, but in the NFL, you can't get 40-yard quarterback runs every play. That just doesn't
He can
happen.
throw, too.
Well,
Right. I said it in the first video also. I said
We can have a
Lamar
completely
Jackson
different
type of
video
runner.
debating about this.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
could.
we
Okay,
could.
agree to disagree. Let's see what Jordan thinks.
All right. Well, I'm kind of in the middle of both of you. I'm not going to go nearly as low as Ryan did. I'm going to go B plus. Now, like Ryan, I have my doubts about Kyler Murray. Obviously, he's not the tallest guy, and obviously, he was in between baseball and football for a while, and there's just doubts in between. And quarterback could be better than him. It's a bunch of different variables on why you could doubt Kyler Murray. But also, I've learned that one, Kyler Murray, he's quick, which we've talked about before, which you were talking about how it didn't really matter. But he's quick, and he can throw from a lot of different arm angles, which comes from baseball. If you're going to throw from baseball, you're not throwing normal all the time. You got to throw from different arm angles and stuff like that. And he's accurate doing that. So I feel like that's going to help him in the NFL. It's going to make him a decent player. Now, do I think they could have got someone better at the first pick? Yes, there's good talent out there. No, obviously, this is why I give it a B plus because Cliff Kingsbury and the whole organization was really just set on getting Kyler Murray. So I can't give you a bad draft grade if that's who the team really wants and that's what you're gonna build your team around him, which is what they're basically. It seems like they're trying to do. So that's why I have a B plus on Kyler Murray. All right, the next guy we're going to talk about should pop on the screen in a second. But the second overall pick, Nick Bosa. I also think this is a very good pick. This was the obvious pick for the 49ers. Can I start? You can start if you'd like to. Okay. I gave this pick an A. I'm not going to say A+, I'm just going to say A because I feel like A is just high enough. I'm not going to go any A+ on anything, but
Okay.
so I give this pick an A.
Good pick. Good A+.
I'm just saying A, and then A- is a different one, okay? Thank you. So I give it an A, as I said out 5 times already,
He gave it an A.
because obviously Nick Bosa was the pick to go next. He was, for a while, the number 1 prospect. Of course, he got hurt, so there are doubts about him getting hurt, but he's just a really good player.
He already got hurt in practice too.
Yeah, he got hurt again in practice, so that might shape into something. Obviously, there's a little bit of risk with Nick Bosa, but he's been one of the best players out there, and it's looked at it as the best player in the draft class for a while before the draft even was talked about a lot. So the 49ers, a good pick here, taking Nick Bosa at this pick. I wouldn't expect to see anyone else at this pick, so they get an A.
All right, I'm going to give him an A+, because really, I think San Francisco with this number 2 pick had the easiest decision of the entire draft. I'm sure as soon as the Kyler Murray pick went in, I'm sure they already had the draft card ready, and John Lynch handed that sucker in.
It still took a while for him to get it down.
I know, but it always does.
You're waiting
Yeah.
for trades and stuff.
Yeah, so I really think they had the easiest decision of the entire draft. You really hit it on the head. He should have gone number 1, but, I said enough about that. But really, he's just the best player this entire draft. Niners had an easy decision here, and they did the right thing.
I'm saying A+ as well. It's pretty self-explanatory. You guys pretty much explained it. Nick Bosa is probably the best defensive player coming out of the draft. A lot of people think there are other great defensive players. It's a great draft for defense, but Nick Bosa at the top of them all. Good pick by the 49ers. We'll go back to Jordan, I guess. Do you want to start again?
No, you can start with him.
Okay. By the way, we're on Quinnen Williams. Bless you, thank you. All right.
That was good.
Quinnen Williams at number 3. I think this was a good pick. A lot of people thought maybe Ed Oliver at this pick, which is a little high in my opinion for Ed Oliver.
Agreed.
I talked about it in another video how he was a steal, but this is still a little too high for Ed Oliver. I'm gonna give it an A here. There's really no other player they could have picked. You never know. We'll see what happens. But there are so many good attributes to Quinnen Williams. It's gonna be exciting to see what he can do with Jamal Adams and Leonard Williams on that Jets defense. So an A for Quinnen Williams.
All right, I agree with a lot of what you said, but I'm going A+ simply because, I just think this is the player they should have picked. And if you pick the player that I think you should pick, you're going to get an A+. And if you pick the player that I think is the best player available at this point, that's also a factor that leads to an A+. So this is pretty much an easy thing to talk about here because it's pretty much a similar situation with Bosa. I really think I felt for a long time that Bosa and Williams were 1 and 2 when it came to overall skill and potential in this draft. I mean, really, I don't think the Jets overthought this too much. I'm pretty sure they had their board out. And really, once Bosa was gone, it was like, okay, Quinnen Williams, he's a guy who could get to the quarterback very fast. I noticed that when I was watching film on him. Great pick right here. Wouldn't have done anything else if I was the Jets.
I'm going to give it an A as well. Basically the same reasons you just said. The obvious pick there, the best pick. I think it was the best player available at that point. Obviously, well, not obviously actually, but there are concerns that, of course, what I said before about bless you, thank you, stuff like that he could be too nice of a lineman, but I think once you're on that football field, all the niceness goes away. So I think Quinnen Williams is going to be a good player. He's a big guy, but he's also fast for his size, like Ryan said, and he just knows how to play the defensive tackle position very well. So I think that was a good pick for them. They needed that position, and the Jets' defense is going to be a lot better. And he's going to be a big acquisition to that defense. All right, the next pick, a controversial pick, Clelin Ferrell at number 4 to the Raiders. I'm going to give it a C+. I don't think it was a terrible pick. Like I've said this before, I think Mike Mayock knows what he's doing, obviously. He's had so much experience with the NFL. He saw something in Clelin Ferrell that he obviously thinks is great and elite. I'm expecting Clelin Ferrell to be a great player because of it. I wouldn't say in one of the top all time, but he's going to be a pretty solid player. Didn't deserve to go 4th overall, in my opinion, so to keep it short, I'm going to say C+ for those reasons.
All right, I'm going to go for a B with Clelin Ferrell here. And, if we were doing this a few weeks ago, I might have gone a little lower, but I have thought about this a lot. And mainly the reason I went a little higher, it's mainly because I trust Mike Mayock and John Gruden, and I just think they're two great football minds. I'm sure they knew what they were doing. They put a lot of time into this. They watched their film. They did their job. So I just trust those two well-known football minds. But there really is more to it. You know, if you tell me, like, you don't tell me what team I am, but you tell me that my team's going to walk out of the first round with Cleveland Farrell, I'm ecstatic because he is a good player. And I had him going 13th overall, so it's not like he wasn't a first rounder or anything.
Yeah, I had him like 15.
What?
I had him
Oh,
like 15.
15. So yeah, kind of that mid first round range. I'm just gonna really just sum it up and say he's a good player, but just I think Devin White or Josh Allen, and Ed Oliver would have been better, and those picks would have probably gotten them in the A range. But you know what, Mike Mayock, I trust you, so you get up to a B.
Mm-hmm. I'm right there in the same range as all of them. I'm gonna go with a B minus, right in the middle of both of them. There's really not much else I can say. Obviously, Cleveland Farrell is a good player. I trust Mike Mayock, John Gruden, some of the smartest football minds ever to be in this game, to be real. They're both very smart players. They know exactly what they're doing, and even when they were drafting, they sent a lot of people home. It was just basically them two making their decision a lot of the time. So they know what they're doing. They're smart. I trust them. Obviously not the pick that everyone would choose, but B minus for Cleveland Farrell.
All right, the next pick behind me, Devin White. I'm giving it A+ for this one by far. He might just be my favorite player coming out of the draft. Like a minute after I started watching film on this guy, I instantly fell in love with him. He's just so amazing, the things he can do, how quick he is. Not only is he's fast, but he's quick. He can move his feet. He can get around people. He's got good vision. He can get to the quarterback even as a linebacker. You see a lot of sacks from him, obviously. But there's just so much to Devin White that is just amazing. I could talk about him for 30 minutes. I'm not going to. Keep it short here. Pass it on to Ryan. A+ for Devin White.
I'd just like to say something real quick.
Yeah.
You can tell how excited he was because I was supposed to start there, but he jumped right on there without
yeah,
talking about
wow.
Devin White.
Yeah, I really wanted to talk about Devin White.
All right, so now I'm going to talk about Devin White. You know, I'm going to give it an A, but the only reason I can't go A+, it's because I think it's a toss-up between him and Josh Allen. An A+ means you are absolutely the right pick there, no questions asked. I think he's a really good pick for them, but, you know, I think you can make an argument for Josh Allen as well as you can make an argument for they did the right thing. But, you know, I agree with a lot of what Tyler said, in a sense that I think he can be a day one starter, and I think when you lose Quan Alexander in free agency, he can fill that gap very well. I mean, he said he's fast, he's physical, he could help out in the blitz game. You know, great defensive player, and I don't know why, I just had this feeling.
Boys,
Yes.
Dad and I are going out to dinner.
Okay.
Let me know when you leave.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. We can edit it out.
Alright.
Started now, Noah.
Yeah. So, okay. What I was saying about Devin White is that I just like him. I think that I just like him as a player. And you know what? I think that I just had this weird feeling that he was just destined to be a Buccaneer, and this was one of the few picks I got right in my mock draft. Devin White to the Bucs. I think we all got that one right in our mock draft. We did. So yeah, just a great fit, and he's going to have a lot of success there.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to give some room. So I said A on Nick Buss before. I'm going to put A+ in him. That's what you said. And I'm going to agree with you, Ryan. I'm going to say A on Devin White because most of the things that both you guys said, he's a very good defensive player, the best linebacker in the draft, easily to me. So I gave him an A for Devin White.
All right, next up, Daniel Jones, another controversial one at 6 overall to the Giants. I start with this one, right? Or do you want to start? Because I skipped you last time.
No, you can start.
All right, I'm gonna give a B+ to Daniel Jones, and only for one reason, because the Giants like Daniel Jones so much that they had to go get him. And if you like someone, you go get them, no matter what other people think. There's a lot of controversy about this, but if you like Daniel Jones, go get Daniel Jones. Good job, Dave Gettleman, not caring what other people think, doing what you believe in. So B+ for Daniel Jones.
You know, I agree with a lot of what you said there about how you have to go get your guy, but I'm going to give this a C+, and, you know, if you want to take a quarterback at 6, fine, but take the best quarterback in the draft. Take Dwayne Haskins. Like, I had Daniel Jones as my 4th-ranked quarterback. You got to take Dwayne Haskins or Josh Allen here with just those two players available. You know, is Daniel Jones a bad quarterback? No, but I just don't think he's as pro-ready or he has the arm strength like some of these other guys do. and I give him a C plus because okay, you guys need a successor for Eli Manning. You got that, so that's good. You got the guy you wanted. That's good. I'm not just convinced the guy they wanted is the right guy. That's why it's a C plus.
Yeah, I'm right in range of you, Ryan. I'm just one below you. I'm gonna give him a C, basically for the reasons that you said in the previous video. I said that they reached too early for him, which I still stand by. So that's why it's a little bit lower on a C. I'm gonna say it again. I thought that Daniel Jones was a second-round quarterback. Obviously, they took him first round, 6 overall. So I think they could have waited. He has good potential, but obviously, I like how they took the guy they wanted, like they both said. But I feel like somebody else, like especially Josh Allen, someone of their caliber, should have been taken in this position.
All right. Next up, Josh Allen. Jordan, do you want to start?
Yeah, sure. Now, Josh Allen is someone that I'm very high on. I've talked about it a lot. He's very quick. He can play linebacker. He can play edge. He can play a lot of places. Very versatile. He's a very good player, and he's on a very good defense. So I feel like this is a perfect pick. This is one where I said that Josh Allen fell to the Jaguars, and the Jaguars should be ecstatic that they got such a great talent like Josh Allen. Like I said, he's quick, great player. He's going to improve that whole defense, that whole team, actually. So just a very good pick. I give it an A+. I'll add the plus this time.
All right, there you go. I am also going to give this an A+. And as a Texans fan, I was very mad when Josh Allen fell for them because I feel like he's going to give our offensive line a lot of problems. So that's one thing. But really, this guy, I thought he was going to go to Oakland. And the Jaguars, I doubt they even expected he would fall this far. I was very surprised that he fell past 6 to the point where he got. But, he's just... It's a best player available thing. They didn't overthink it. And I said, when you take the guy that's the best player available and the guy you should have picked, no questions asked, you're going to get an A+. So, Jaguars, good job. You scared me as a Texans fan, but you know what? You earned it. A+.
It is scary. It's really, really scary. You think about it. You got guys like Jalen Ramsey and A.J. Boye already on that defense. And now you add Josh Allen to the mix. That's absolutely crazy how good they're going to be with Josh Allen. We talked about all his attributes. He is very versatile. Jordan, that was a great word to describe him. Now, if I were to describe Josh Allen in one word, that would probably be the word that I choose. But what Ryan said about this has to be, you have to be 100% sure in order to give it A+. I think the guy that was next, Ed Oliver, spoiler alert, in case you didn't know, which you should know, this happened a long time ago. He's at next. Oh, wait, we know he's not next. He's at 9, sorry. My bad. He'll be in the next video, all right. But I think he could have gone there, and that's why I'm gonna give an A and not an A+. But yes, I can't believe I didn't know. I didn't know that. I said that he went 9th overall in another video, so I didn't know that, by the way. Okay. Well,
8th overall.
not 9th overall. This is T.J. Hockenson, not Ed Oliver.
There you go.
All right. This was a great pick. I'm a Bears fan. This scares the crap out of me because T.J. Hockenson, I think, can step into the NFL in day one and already be one of the best tight ends in the league. Be up there with guys like George Kittle. Rob Gronkowski's gone, so I'm not going to include him into the mix. But
So just George Kittle is your MVP tight end.
I'm just saying.
One great tight end.
I'm saying
That's it.
I'm saying he's going to be up at that level, the George Kittle
Okay,
level,
okay.
because George Kittle's kind of new to the NFL, so it'll be very similar to George Kittle. He'll be kind of just coming out of nowhere. Teams won't know what to do with him. He's a nightmare. He's good speed. He's got good athleticism as well. So it's going to be really tough for anyone to cover T.J. Hockenson. I'm going to give us an A.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm gonna give this an A+, and I already told you my A+ rule. But you kind of hit a lot of it right on the head there, Tyler. Because I remember you guys are Bears fans, and I remember when this pick happened, I told you guys you should be scared because this guy is a wonderful playmaker. He could go downfield. He could go in the short passing game. I think T.J. Hockenson is a guy that, truthfully, if he wanted to, he could play any offensive position he wanted besides quarterback. That's just what I saw from him. He could block, he could catch, he could run. He's very fast for his size. I just think this was a great pick for them, and I think they really need to kind of rejuvenate their offense after a disappointing year last year. Matthew Stafford and those Lions should be very excited about TJ coming to their team.
Just to debate a little bit about what you said. You said that was the obvious pick. Another pick they could have made there was Ed Oliver. They could have improved the defense,
Okay.
but I think they should have took T.J. Hawkinson. But anyways, I'm gonna give him an A. Not gonna go for the A plus, but I'm giving an A because I think T.J.
Wonderful.
Hawkinson was the best tight end in the draft. He's a very good run blocker and a good tight end, just like receiving wise, and that's what the NFL needs. If you have someone who's both, it's very good. I believe Zach Ertz is a good run blocker. Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
So you need that versatility to be in there. So when he's in the game, you don't know if, hey, let's say he's not in the game, you can expect to run, but if he's in the game, you can expect to pass. T.J. Hawkinson can play throughout the whole game, and you're not going to know what's coming to you at all. He's very versatile, once again. As of course, what Ryan said about he can play any offensive position. So he's a very good tight end, the best at that spot. And it was a position that the Lions had desperately been looking for a while, and they finally got it. A for T.J. Hawkinson.
All right. So in conclusion, we went through the first 8 picks of the draft: Kyler Murray, Nick Bosa, Quinnen Williams, Cleveland Farrell, Devin White, Daniel Jones, Josh Allen, and T.J. Hawkinson. We gave our grades on them. We're gonna do 3 more videos about the rest of the first round of the NFL draft. I know this happened a while ago, but we love talking about the draft, so we're gonna continue to do that. Make sure to like, subscribe, put that bell on. You guys got anything else?
Just have a good day, guys. I mean,
There you go.
you know,
There we
you don't,
go.
people that say it enough. You know, have a good day.
You really
You know,
should have.
be
a good
you.
day.
Be you.
Indeed. There you
Have
go.
fun, Aggie would say. Yes.
Words of wisdom from Jordan.
All right. We'll see you guys later.